Hello and welcome back to the road to KSP. It's your boy, he's here. We're doing it. This is episode 49 and we're starting off with Mercury 4. We launched this several episodes ago, or maybe it was the last episode. I don't really remember. But yeah, it's a probe that's on its way to Mercury. It's powered with a nuclear Nerva engine. That way so we could get some more Delta V. Yeah, and it serves its purpose pretty well. It packed quite the punch with several thousand Delta V just in that small little container that it's attached to. And we quickly just burst through the rest of our Delta V, just trying to get our inclination burn. No, it wasn't an it was a better encounter burn, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't in the cards for this mission in general. All of our Moho missions have failed as of right now. So maybe something better will happen, but as of right now, the Mercury and the Hermes missions have just all been busts, whatever. Hopefully we will one day do much better. I mean, the closest we've got is we've actually hit the planet, direct hit, going so fast we couldn't even get data. But you know, that's just par for the course. It's what'll happen. Yeah. So next episode is episode 50. So that means could you please like, comment, and subscribe, and you know, tell me what I need to do in episode 50. I have an episode 50. I need to know what to do in my episode 50. 50 episodes in. Pretty cool. It's the furthest I've ever gotten in any sort of series. Anyway, now we're doing the Hades 1. This is our first mission out to the second furthest planet in, second furthest planet in the Kerbal system. It's the Pluto analog. Yeah. And it is out there. It's called Plock. And it's pretty far out there. Hilariously, its moon is called Charon. I don't know what that's about. But not like Charon like it's Karen, like as in like the angry white women, Karen. Yeah. Anyway, they're getting launched out on a pretty hefty rocket. The probe's getting launched out on a pretty hefty rocket because we need the Delta V. It's very distant planet, and it has a pretty high inclination, so we need to do some inclination changes and all of those things. And even then, I don't think it's gonna get there for about 40 years. I think that's what it said. It would take 40 years in game for it to get there, which is crazy, but I mean, maybe one day it'll reach there. Yeah. So we're basically sending it all the way out there, and we're just coding in the change, so I can basically just choose when to launch myself out to the location that we need to go to. It's just that simple. It's gonna take a minute to get there, and hopefully we get there and we get a ton of science for it. Anyway, another thing we'll get a ton of science for is Aphrodite III. This is another pretty hefty rocket. It's gonna have a lander that'll land on Eve. Now, this is actually pretty funny what I did here. So in order to get those away, I had it so that it used the roll to fling them away. So that's what I was doing there. Yeah, it's a pretty hefty rocket. Had a whole bunch of solid rocket boosters, and even more solid rocket boosters on like the 4th stage. Yeah, it's maddening how much. I wanted to have quite a surplus of Delta V because I wanted to slow down a lot when I reached Eve, because none of my inner planets missions have gone very well. I mean, I've had one successful Eve mission and like a successful Gilly mission, but I don't want to, screw things up when it comes to these, when it comes to this planet, because Eve's atmosphere is very hot, it's very dense, and its gravity is almost the same as Kerbin's, which means that it's a rough time entering the atmosphere. So, like, it'll just be difficult. So, I made sure that there was really wide margins for Delta V. Yeah, that's it. Its main mission is just to land on the land. I know our last lander landed in the water, so it needs to, or whatever is the goo that is on the surface of Eve. And it's basically to get us a ton of science so we can unlock some more tech tree nodes. That's really it. And here for our second launch of the day, we have the Chronos II. The Chronos II. It's a mission out to Sarnus, which is the analog for Saturn. It's going to be a satellite that is placed in an equatorial orbit around Saturn, or Sarnus. It's I had it designed kind of like a telescope, kind of a big telescope, but I had it designed like a telescope. I just thought it would be kind of fun to have it shaped in that manner as it goes on its merry way. So, yeah. Now this mission is quite the actually, no, isn't this the 3rd mission? Yeah, this is the 3rd rocket launch. Why did I say 2nd? This is the 3rd rocket launch, and its mission is to go to Sarnus, be in an equatorial orbit, and collect lots of science. That's really all it has to do, and maybe if it has enough extra Delta V, maybe it can go and bounce around some of the moons and get even more science. That's its main priority, main goal, and yeah, that's what it's going to be doing. It's a pretty hefty rocket that's being sent out there. Lots of science experiments on board. Yeah, that's it. And it didn't quite get there on the first burn, so we're doing another burn later on to get it there. But anyway, here's Chronos III, and it's being launched on Castillo de San Marcos, which is our reusable rocket platform. It's one of our reusable rocket platforms, but it's like the main one. It's the most reliable, if you could say that. I mean, it's not exactly super reliable. I mean, the first stage is pretty reliable, but the second stage is whatever. All of those were human error. Yeah. Anyway, here it is going off into the distance as at a absolutely breakneck speed. And you can see the first stage just slowly getting smaller in the background as it's preparing to re-enter the atmosphere, which is what we will see in just a moment. Coming up from the bottom side of the screen, there we are. Now up in the top left-hand side of the screen, the second stage is going off towards the ground, but here's the first stage landing in the ocean. I should probably just remove the legs. I mean, it doesn't use them, but whatever. And this time I wanted to use the KSP landing guidance to land the second stage on the pad Uh, yeah. And this is why I said it's not always reliable. Actually, but we did get quite a few dollars left from landing it this way, but it didn't exactly land correctly. If you catch my drift, it didn't land near where it was supposed to be landing, but due to the location that it was, we got like 100% back on all of the parts. So that's pretty good. All of the surviving parts. So it went down right before the space center. Oh, and up in the yeah, I tried to move it over and then it fell over and exploded. Anyway, yeah. Now we're driving off towards Saturn on the Chronos III, which is also an equatorial orbit, but it's going the opposite direction around the planet. And yep, we're back with Aphrodite III for our last little focused mission, or little focused thing of the day. It's just doing a quick correction burn. It's going to see us off into next week. I hope you guys had a good week, and I will see you guys later. Remember, next episode is episode 50, and that'll be fun. There will be a mod list, and yeah, that's it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.